So since we just finished covering element 6, let's start with element 7 now, which is all about making your website about them, meaning that you want your website to be about your audience. You want your website, well, let's put it this way. I always tell my clients that your website's not for you. Your website's not for you as a business owner. It's not something that you need. So you should make sure that your website's for your audience and do everything that you possibly can to make it for their needs, their wants, and their expectations. So let's go back to your homepage and take a look here. So the first thing I'd say is, this opening is really nice. It's elegant. I certainly like it graphically. But when I compare it into relationship of your business and what your business goals should be, which is to convert clients, this opening doesn't really help you at all. Not only does it not help you, and it wastes time, it doesn't really add anything to my life as a potential client. So you want to have something here that I can take the information from, that I can see that you're capable and able to work with someone in my situation. So keep that in mind. Again, I think the graphic's nice. I just would shift this a little bit, shift maybe the focus of your site a little bit so that it was directly about your audience. And when I look at the links down here, and I talked about this a little bit earlier as well, I don't really see a lot that's for me. Again, me being a potential client, not me being Dawud, the business coach. I don't see a lot that's here for me. What I see is a contact page, which we talked about earlier, your blog, which can have content on it, as we said. The testimonials are really about you. They're about how great you are and how it is to work with you. Your services page is also really about you. It's about how I engage you. And that's not a bad thing, but the most effective services page is about me. It's about what I get. It's what's in it for me. It's what is it that I'll receive? What are the benefits I get from working with you, as opposed to just how to work with you? I think if you shift the content on your services page a bit and make it more focused on me as an audience member, me as a prospective client, I think what you'll find is more people will be contacting you after looking at your services page. It's a really, really important distinction, is people don't really care about what you do until they're really clear that you can help them. So just keep that in mind. Your about page is similar in the sense that it's a great narrative. It's a lovely story. I read it earlier. The one place that I found lacking, though, is there's a little too much detail around your story that's not directly related to your audience. So you want your bio to be, you want your bio to cover where you've been and why you've arrived at where you've arrived, and how now you're able to help people who have gone through the process that you yourself have gone through, or who need to go through the process, or who are capable of going through the process that you've gone through. So in other words, if you've solved the problem in your life that's led you to be this life coach, you want to share with them that process a little bit in a way that they can relate to you and know that you're relating to them. And that's even more important, that you're able and capable of relating to them. You want to make sure they know that. So consider a rewrite of your bio page so that it's about your audience and your story in relationship to them. Again, keeping in mind that you don't need to write your bio out. You don't need to know more about Katie, because you are Katie. So make sure that your audience has a chance to connect with you through a story that relates to them. And when we go to what is life coaching, this is the page people are going to seem to click on often when they look at all these options here. This page looks like it's really designed to inform me and educate me on life coaching. And that can be fine, except that it's not really getting me into the problem. It's not about me. It's about life coaching. And I want to know that I can connect with you, that I can work with you to help me solve a problem in my business, and that ultimately you're there to provide me with the support I need to take me through my process. But life coaching isn't about my process. Life coaching is about life coaching. My process is about how do I go from the problems I'm dealing with, whatever they may be, wherever your expertise is, toward a solution. So consider maybe even changing the name What is Life Coaching to something that's more directly about my situation, my scenarios, the things that I'm dealing with, and how I can solve those things. That's the most beneficial way to write a page like this. So what I'd like to see is content here that is about me, and then let me know how life coaching can help me. How does life coaching benefit me? How can life coaching help me solve the things that I'm dealing with, as opposed to just an education on what life coaching can do? The last thing I want to cover, and this is the most interesting page of all, is the only place I see this is on the home page, this little see more link. I don't see a way to get into this page anywhere else in your site. And this is probably the closest thing that you have of content on your website that's about me. That's about me as a prospective client. It's also, by the way, the place that you have the strongest call to action, but we'll cover that when we get down to element number 9. I want to not only want to see this content out front more, I want to see this content available from every page. I actually want you to write more about this. Give me more about what it is that I'm facing as a prospective client that you can directly help me out of through the coaching work you do. So just keep in mind as we go through this, and as you look at your website and as you're reviewing this video, that your website is about your audience, that your website needs to be about them and for them, and ultimately meet their needs first. Meet their needs in balance with your business goals, but meet their needs first. If it's just looking to meet your business goals, then you're probably not going to connect with your audience. If you're just looking to connect with your audience and leave your business goals out of it, you're going to have people who engage you in ways that ultimately don't help your business. So keep that in mind. And what I wanted to do is take a second and show you a couple of examples. Let's go to Google and let's type in spiritual life coaching. And let's search spiritual life coaching. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select randomly off the first page and then off the second page. Let's just randomly select this one and this one and this one, and maybe that's enough. We'll look at those. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to look at what other people, these are people that are ranking high in Google, keep in mind. They're on the first and the second page of Google for spiritual life coaching. And let's look at how they're doing it. Embracing changes. Again, this doesn't really say anything to me. By the way, the design's horrible because the contrast isn't there with the text. The headline being one of the most important pieces of text. This isn't about me, really. I can't really relate to this, and it's something that I'm sure that she's really good with, but I can't really relate to the content. And facing life changes courageously. If I'm facing a life change, I'm probably not thinking about courage. So just consider this as you go through this kind of content. With this site, let's see what she's done here. Yeah, way too confusing. I would just skip a site like this if I was somebody looking for help that would end up finding a life coach. I would skip this because it's not clear what I should do here. This gentleman looks very interested in me. Let's turn off his video. This gentleman looks very interested in me getting his video lessons. I'm not sure at all how the video lessons apply to me, though. It's nice that he's giving me some free stuff, but I don't have any idea what that free stuff's going to solve for me. This site, Intervisions, this site looks like it's more about, this is more educational type stuff on life coaching. And why do I care about life coaching at all as a modality if I have no idea whether or not you can even help me with my problem? This site, I've actually seen this site before. Brooke does, I don't know Brooke personally, but Brooke does a really nice job here. If you read through her homepage content, it's a little lengthy, but if you read through it, you'll see that almost all of this content is about me as a potential client. It's all about the problems that she deals with. It's all about the way she can help me. It's all about how she can solve my problems, and it's all about the next steps. So she's done a fairly good job here. And if you look at her links and what are behind her links are a lot about me. Even the way she's written her programs is a lot about me. So again, I just mentioned Brooke here. I don't know her, but she's done a pretty good job with her website content. And this site, this is just a directory site, so we'll just close that one down. But what I wanted to show you is that even people getting in the first couple of pages of Google, which has nothing to do, by the way, with how effective your conversion copy is, how well your site's written for your audience. But even people getting on the first page and second page of Google aren't necessarily writing content that's for their audience. They're writing content that's really about themselves. So why I showed you that is you have a great possibility, a massive possibility to be able to write content that meets your audience where they are, and you'll be 2 or 3 or 4 steps ahead of the competition. So let's go ahead and move on to element number 8 and talk a little bit about your funnel.